Well, I got the fire going. It's very damp out today. It's not cold at all, but it's damp. It's been snowing and raining and freezing rain, and we're getting everything. Well, I had a few minutes, and I pulled this cover off here, and behind there is the return spring. This thing was not returning when I got it. This little drill press, double head drill press, cute little drill press, and it was missing a chuck. I bought a chuck for it, so we're really getting ahead here. We're going to be able to use this. I got a key with the chuck. It's just a Chinese chuck, number 2 Morse taper spin arbor with a JT3 chuck. It says right on the chuck. JT3's just a GJ there, JT3 right there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not a Jacobs. I didn't pay much for it, 20 bucks. Kijiji. They sell these at Busy Bee for about $16 for the chuck and about $6 or $8 for the arbor. And then you got to pay tax on top of that. So over here we got the Jacobs. Really nice small Jacobs. But the return spring wasn't working. It was in the down position like it is right now when I got it. And there we go. Look at that. It's working now. So I opened that up and I found this little piece in there. It had broken off, but there was so much spring left in there. You know, back in, this was probably built in the 40s, 1940s. And it was, money was material was, labor was cheap and materials were plentiful. So the spring in there is probably, you could probably break it 2 or 3 more times and still just bend the tab over in the middle, shove it in the groove, and get it working again. So that's the way things were made back then. I've been cleaning the rust off. Look at that. I just soaked it with oil, and I'm going to give it a good scrubbing. This is my V-block. I made this years and years ago. So I'm going to look for a decent set of V-blocks for it. And this is, I think there's one guy out there that refers to guys like me as a hammer and chisel mechanic. And anybody that would own something like this has to be a hammer and chisel mechanic, because this is not too refined. I mean, I'm working at getting better. I'm trying to get better. I bought a lathe. I bought a milling machine. And I got another big item coming pretty soon, I hope, if the deal works out like I'm hoping. So watch my next video, because it could be a big announcement. But I oiled the spring up here. I oiled the chain and the little pulley. I don't think this thing hasn't been oiled in probably 40 years, 30, 40 years. It was so dry and it wouldn't even slide up and down. Now it's just working beautifully. The light, it's a really cute little light on it. It needs a good paint job, but I love it. It's old school. So I had to crank that over. I had to torque it right up to be able to lift that chuck up again. This one here is a little torquier. It comes up a little too fast. Anyway, that's the way it came. It came like that. I think I'll leave it like that. And I scrubbed this side over here. You can see this little area right here. I scrubbed it clean, and it looks a lot better. There's before. I haven't done that yet. Here's after. I've got all winter to clean this up. I'm going to scrub the whole thing. You can see the grime back here on top of the motor everywhere. So we got lots of time to get going at that. Just oiling it made it much quieter. This one over here was the noisy one. Now that I've oiled it, it's the quiet one. So it needs a new belt though. You can see that belt kind of jumping around. It's got a spot I think that belt is probably old as the hills. Anyway, I don't think a new belt would hurt. But that one's nice. Each one of these drill presses has a little rack and pinion. You can see the rack back here. That's the rack. And the pinion is this shaft right here. And you know, the only thing that's holding that in there is these two nuts. You got to untorque the spring, and that whole thing comes out. And I think it would come right apart. I don't know if the quill will drop out. This is the quill right here. It would drop out, or this is the quill. I don't know which one's the quill. I'd have to look it up. I got a lot to learn. But if I can get that out of there, I can really give it good cleaning, and I think that's probably why it's still making a bit of noise. I could probably even get it quieter than that. You know, there's probably a pressed bearing in there at the top somewhere holding that pulley in. So that pulley does not lift up. If I push on it, it doesn't move. So I'll pull this cover off, 3 bolts, and get in there and have a look at it. But not today. That's for another day. So there we go. Let's line them up. So if you find one of these old drill presses like this, you know, you can get these for a deal. I got the DP220 at my house, at my home shop. It's gray. It's got a bigger cover in the front. The cover comes out a little, maybe an inch or more wider on each side, which means the step pulley on the inside is a little bigger probably. I think this is an older model, but it's got the exact same crest on the front. It's got the DP220 written right here in the same spot, and everything else looks the same. The quill doesn't stick out as far like this. The chuck is right up against the this little clamp. The chuck is right here on my one at the home shop. So this one's a little different. I like the longer reach. You know, you keep your handle away from the work a little more. You got more clearance. I don't know. It seems to work nice. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm missing the quill lock. This one's got a quill lock. And this one over here, you can lock it, but you got to get an Allen key. Got this little Allen key. It doesn't look like... It looks like that's original. It's funny how it's over here, though, because this handle kind of interferes with this. You know, if you rotate that around, it's pretty close. As if you got this swung over a little bit closer, this actually can hit right here. So I'm surprised. This should be on this one over here. I think I'm going to switch that. I'm going to take the Allen key out of here, Allen bolt, put it in here, and put this one on the other side. But if you're using a wire brush or something, a drum sander, it's nice to lock the quill down, whatever height you want. Oh, there's a sticker in there. I can't even read that. Not enough light. I think they're all patent numbers. I can't read the serial number. Probably some steel wool, I could probably make out what it says there, but. And there's the DP290. Anyway, I drilled a few holes on this already with this machine, and just as smooth as butter. It makes my Chinese drill press look like something that belongs in the garbage can. Everything shakes on the Chinese. And this one's smooth as butter. So here's the drill press I've got at my home shop, and you can see I just measured across the front cover for the belt cover. It's about 9 inches. I didn't measure the other one. I forgot to measure before I left. But it's also a DP220. And there's the serial number. And you can sort of see, there it is. You can do some research on the internet. I think it's a 1945 or thereabouts. Maybe 1947, I forget exactly. 47, 48 maybe. So it's a 56 790, and I bought it from National Research Council, NRC Physics. So it was used in a clean laboratory probably. Wasn't much dirt on it. I haven't, except for a little bit of rust on it. I haven't really done anything to it. It's got, I think that's a, I can't tell what kind of chuck that is, but it might be a Jacobs. It may not be, I don't know. Maybe someone out there knows. You can see something there. 6A. Anyway, I like it. The big part of the reason why I bought that double head, the green one, was because I knew it was very much like this one. And this is a really very, very nice drill press. Very happy with it. It's got this weird cover on the back here. I've been thinking about taking it off. It's covering the belt. So maybe it isn't. Maybe it's older than the green one. I don't know, because it doesn't have a back cover over the pulley at the back. But it's a good solid drill press. Weighs about, I paid $120. I paid $160 for it or so, somewhere around there. And it's a 14-inch. There's the return springs, exactly the same as that green one. And I was wondering what that little tab was for on the green one, and now I see it looks like it's to hold a wire or something. Or maybe that's where you hang your key for your chuck. I don't know. So that's interesting. I didn't see that. Didn't notice that before. So while I'm at it, I thought I'd show you a few more things I got today. While I was working there today, I got this stainless steel made in, you guessed it, China. Everything's made in China now. Even though, the one thing you thought was made in Canada or US, pick it up and there it is, China. But that's nice stainless steel. I got a whole pail full of it. Look at that. All offcuts are thrown in the garbage. So this is larger OEs. This is probably 1 inch. I haven't measured anything. There's a piece there. So I can fool around with this on the lathe. And, it's nice to get that. The other day I was working on fixing the wood splitter, and I didn't have a set of these here, boring gauges. I just bought these three. These are just bore gauges, so I didn't have any of these. I just picked these up. They're made in China. I paid $15 for them, I think. She asked $15. So, pretty happy to get these. And I think the way you use these is you just can take some practice. Okay, I went and found something a little better to measure. This is the actual piece that I cut off to fix the wood splitter. So I go. I gotta do a little practice with this because it's not something I do very often. I'm watching some of the guys on YouTube do this kind of work, and I don't know how you do this. 2 hands. It's going to take a little bit of time, but there, that's pretty much what you do. So you get your measurement. So what I used to do, this will be a good little addition. I gotta leave those out. So what I used to do is I had a caliper, and I would just measure with a caliper like this. And it was pretty close with that kind of measurement. That looks like inch and a half, you know. So it's just shy of inch and a half. So when I look at this, I'm at 1 inch and 471,000. So it's very, a very accurate way to measure. I don't know if you can see that. So 1 and 471. After I moved up from this, I was lucky enough to get one of these here. I bought this from a machinist who does inspection work, and all the tools are provided by the workplace. So this is, I'm really happy to get this. It's very, very nice. And it was calibrated a number of years ago, so it hasn't been calibrated in 10 years. But I like that. So that's a good little addition. I've been looking for a set of these, and I don't think I really need to have Starrett, you know, tools like this to start out with. Maybe if I get a little better at this kind of thing, you know, it'll be a gift for myself in the future. But for now, I'm happy with these. Okay, I got this also with the chuck. This is Butterfield, Union Butterfield. It's a 3 to 2 adapter, Morse taper adapter, and I got a couple of spanner wrenches. Just wanted like $10 for these. I think I got everything for like 40. So there's one that goes on. That's homemade. That one goes on a ratchet or breaker bar. And I got a couple of D-wrenches, probably Chinese. $15 for the two of them. Oh no, made in the USA. Okay, I didn't see that. The tape was on top of that. There's no name on it though. So, oh, look at that. Well, that's kind of cool. So you can put this in the chuck of a drill and tap, and it'll slide down, and you get a little bit of travel there. Okay, that's kind of cool. And there you can put it in your center, live center. Nice. And I got this one too. This one's missing the piece that goes on. There's a little project I can make something like that. Another one. It's a match to the other one. Yeah, made in the USA. Good. Well, that's a bonus. I thought that was Chinese. So that's why it looks so nice. And what else did I get? I think that's it. But you can see that things are getting better around here. Here's something I keep forgetting to show you. This little square with the it's got 3 little level indicators. So it's a precision level and a square, made by, of course, Starrett number 134. So it's beautiful, and it's still came in the box. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and don't be afraid to subscribe or leave a comment. Thanks a lot.